this is Guillaume de Bourgogne. I have starred in such excellent chemistry educational videos as Oxidations for Losers and We Reduce Your Electrons. Okay, in this video, guys, we are going to be looking at what happens when you have electrons that are lost or gained by atoms. How can we tell about losing electrons? It's oxidation, gaining electrons, reduction, which is also known as Leo the line goes Gur. Now there's also another way to memorize it, oil rig, or oxidation is losing, reduction is gaining. So those are two ways to know. Well, let's work through an example here. So here we have zinc added to hydrochloric acid. We get zinc plus hydrogen gas and the Cl minus. So what do? How do we go about it? Well, first we need to break these down into their individual reactions. Individual reactions, we look at what part's going on. So here we have zinc, we get an arrow, and we get zinc 2 plus. Okay, we also have HCl, and that breaks down into the H2. All right, now what we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is not balancing the reactions. We're just looking to see what happens with the individual charges. And on this one here, this next one, we have, again, HCl breaking off into 2Cl minus. So this is what we've got going for us. So how can we tell about losing or reducing? Well, when we have something like this, this is an element in its natural form. It's going to have a charge of 0. That's why you don't see the 0 there. So we know that there is a 0 here. Here we have got a 2 plus. What happened? In the reaction, the zinc lost 2 electrons, so we can go and put 2 electrons there. Here's the question, did zinc get oxidized or did it get reduced? Well, again, if you go back, oxidation is losing oil, or losing electrons, oxidation. What did the zinc do? It lost electrons, so you know what? That's oxidation. Okay? So that's it with zinc, and that's all we got to worry about. Now let's look at HCl going to H2. Well, what is the charge on the HCl? Well, the charge on the HC, the Cl, according to the rules, would be a -1, right? And we can bring that down here for a -1. Here for the H, we have a positive, a +1. Now we go over to here, and notice you don't have a charge here because the hydrogen is found in its natural form. So therefore, the charge on the 2 hydrogen atoms together, it's 0. Each hydrogen atom has 0. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, we would need to add 1 electron to here because that's what happened. Now I understand there's 2 hydrogens here, but we got 1 here. If it would be 2 HCl plus 2 electrons, but that's not what I'm interested in right now. I just want to know what happened to the hydrogen. Did it pick up electrons? Did it lose electrons? Well, in this case, the hydrogen picked up electrons, right? Now, what is that? Oxidation or reduction? If we look at Leo, the line goes Gur, gain electrons, reduction. Or if you use the oil rig method, rig, reduction is gaining. What did the hydrogen do? It gained. So it is very much a reduction. So in this case here, this hydrogen, it has been reduced. It is a reduction process. Now, let's go ahead and let's see what happened here with the chlorine. What kind of a charge does chlorine have? Well, it's got a -1 charge because it's connected with the hydrogen. So we know it's a -1. And we go over to here and we got 2Cl with a minus. It's also a -1. Has something changed? Nope. That's what they call a disparate reaction, because you have something there in the reactant and the product that they tend to be both the same. But we do have our oxidation with the zinc, and we have our reduction here with the hydrogen. Okay? let's move on here. Let's take a look at another one. Now this equation is part of a bigger reaction, but we're not interested in the rest of the bigger reaction. What we are interested in, ladies and gentlemen, is did iron and did the tin, which is Sn, did they lose electrons, gain electrons, and thus determine if it's oxidized or it is reduced. So let's break it into, we're going to break it into our, half reactions. So again, we're only focusing, so we look here in our, oops, here we go. So we broke it into our half reaction with the iron, okay? And then down here we got Sn2 plus breaking into Sn4 plus. Okay, well let's see. 2 Fe's, 2 Fe's. Great, we're okay there. But again, we went from a 3 plus to a 2 plus. Whoa. So wait a minute. If it went from a +3 to a +2, did it pick up an electron or did it lose an electron? Well, +3 to +2 is a change. You added an electron. So yeah, we could say this, and we can say if it picked up an electron, it is reduced. Now we could say reduction. That's okay. We're saying that this thing has been reduced. It's undergone the reduction process. Okay, and now let's take a look here at our Sn. So here's our tin with a +2 charge, and it's going into tin with a 4 plus charge. So what did we end up getting? What happened here? Did we lose electrons or did we pick up electrons? Something happened. So again, go back to the oxidation is losing oil, or my fave, Leo. Losing electrons, oxidation. Well, you know what? We lost electrons here. 2 electrons have been ripped out. For whatever reason, we don't know in the big picture, so it's a safe bet to say it has been oxidized. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Reduction and oxidation. Okay, and we can tell based off of our charges here, we broke it into our half reactions, and then determining what happened. Did it pick up electrons? Did it lose electrons? Then we can tell if it's oxidation or reduction. Okay? This is Louis signing off.
Allons les enfants pour la patrie.